Have you ever just stood outside, looked up at the night sky and felt that profound sense of wonder?
Oh, absolutely, that feeling.
Yeah.
It's almost primal, isn't it? Connecting you to everyone who's ever done the same thing.
Exactly. Tracing those patterns in the glittering lights, it feels universal.
It really is.
Mm.
And what's so fascinating, I think, is that those points of light aren't just random specks. They're woven into this incredibly rich tapestry of human stories, deep observations, and cultural meaning.
Right, and that's what this deep dive is all about. Our mission, really, is to give you a shortcut to becoming properly well-informed about star names and constellations.
We want to explore how they came about, what they actually signify.
Yeah, and uncover some surprising connections, bridging ancient wisdom with what we know from modern astronomy.
So get ready, we're going to unpack the historical, the cultural, the astronomical insights behind it all.
You might find some truly astonishing facts along the way.
Our journey really starts way back, doesn't it? With that ancient gaze, the very first steps in stargazing.
It's pretty remarkable to think how long stars have inspired, well, everything. Imagination, literature, legends, right from the dawn of history.
Shaping cultures for thousands of years.
It does make you wonder, though, how far back does that knowledge actually go? I read this really fascinating idea that the wisdom of the stars, even the zodiac, might have, antediluvian origins.
Yeah, before the flood. Some ancient traditions hint at figures like Seth and Enoch.
Adam's descendants?
Right, maybe inscribing this knowledge onto pillars for preservation. It challenges our usual timelines, for sure.
It really does. And the astronomer Bailey, he was quite brilliant.
He certainly thought along those lines. He argued that really advanced astronomical observations were made by an antediluvian race. A civilization before the Great Flood, before humanity kind of scattered.
What was his evidence for that?
He pointed to ancient Persian records. They mentioned royal stars marking celestial points. Points that calculations show were only possible to observe from Earth in those incredibly distant times.
Wow. So not just casual stargazing?
No. It suggests a really sophisticated, very early understanding of the cosmos. A mind-bending thought, like you said.
Truly mind-bending. And speaking of origins, Maunder. He studied the archaeology of constellations. He had this compelling theory about where they were first mapped out.
Ah, yes, the vacant region.
Exactly. He noticed this big empty patch in the southern hemisphere on the earliest star charts.
And that's a massive clue. Maunder figured the people who invented these constellations probably lived somewhere between 36 and 42 degrees north latitude.
Okay.
From there, they just couldn't see the far southern sky. So that part of their map stayed blank.
Which suggests not Egypt, not Babylon.
Probably not. Perhaps somewhere more northerly. It's a neat bit of geographic detective work based on what wasn't charted.
So it wasn't just what they saw, but their viewpoint, and maybe even more, how they interpreted it all.
Absolutely. Different ancient cultures looked up and saw vastly different things. Imagine being an Assyrian and seeing stars not just as lights, but as actual divinities, powerful beings, capable of good or ill.
That's a very different worldview.
Or the Chaldeans. They pictured the sky as this huge basket-shaped boat with a flat earth underneath, floating on water.
A boat. Wow.
And then you have cultures like the Eskimos, or even the early Greeks, who believed the stars were once people or animals or fish transformed and placed in the sky.
It just shows how we project our own world onto that shared canvas above us.
Fundamentally different views, same sky.
Which brings us to naming them. The art of naming is just as rich, isn't it? And tells us so much.
It really does. And it's striking. When you think about it, out of maybe 10,000 stars you can see with the naked eye.
Yeah.
Historically, only a few hundred ever got their own proper names. Most traditional astronomy focused more on the bigger picture, the constellations, or maybe distinct groups, asterisms.
So naming the pattern, not necessarily every single star in it.
That's mostly right. And many of those older star names, they aren't just random sounds. They're descriptive. They tell you where the star is.
Like Fecta.
Exactly, Fecta. It's basically a corruption of an Arabic phrase, meaning thigh of the bear. Pinpoints it right there in Ursa Major.
Okay, that makes sense. But then you have the really bright ones, the superstars.
Ah, yes. A select few. They earned their own independent, really evocative names. Names that didn't need the constellation to make sense.
The celebrities, like Sirius.
Sirius, yes. Meaning the scorcher. You hear that name, you immediately think of its intense brightness.
Oh, totally. Or Antares.
Rival of Aries, because its reddish color reminded people of Mars, the god of war.
Yeah.
And then you have names like Alfred, the solitary one, sitting alone in its part of the sky, or Regulus, the kinglet.
They sound like royalty, demanding their own recognition.
They really do. And it shows how naming conventions themselves have changed over time if you go back to Ptolemy.
The syntaxes, that huge work.
That's the one, 2nd century A.D. He cataloged over 1,000 stars, but mostly by their position, using phrases like the star upon the tongue or the one in the left knee.
Almost poetic descriptions.
Very much so. And that method, that descriptive positioning, it was the standard for, 1,500 years? Well into the 18th century.
And now, how does it work now?
Well, now we have bodies like the IAU, the International Astronomical Union. They have a working group on star names, the WGSN, and global projects like the MAME ExoWorlds campaigns.
So more formalized
Right.
and more global.
Exactly. These efforts are bringing in this incredible diversity of cultural perspectives from all around the world. It's really a reflection of our global community now.
That must lead to some amazing names.
Oh, absolutely. Through these campaigns, you get names like Aiolos, that's a Bribri word for hummingbird from Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Or Bubup, which means child in the Boon Wurrung language in Australia.
Connecting to future generations, that's lovely.
It is. And there's Larawag from the Wurdaban people in Australia, Balel from Senegal, which refers to a rare water source, something vital. These aren't just labels, they're cultural anchors.
The depth of human experience in these names, it's incredible. And it's not just indigenous names, right? There are literary ones, too.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of literary and mythological references. Absolutno from a Czech novel, Barahinia, a Slavic protective deity, Chalawan, a mythical crocodile king from Thailand.
Even authors get a look in.
Yep. Cervantes is up there. And even Lich, that's a fictional undead creature from fantasy worlds, shows how our imagination just keeps reaching for the stars.
That's brilliant. And geographic names, too, anchoring the stars to Earth.
Firmly. Names like Chao Phraya, after the Tai River, Citadel, for the Haitian fortress, Cosabolca, Lake Nicaragua's old name, Lion Rock in Hong Kong, Lusalinburghoek, that's the old fortress of Luxembourg, Lusitania for ancient Portugal, Bozona for an old Bosnian territory. Each one ties a distant light back to a specific place and its history.
And some are just evocative, chosen for their sound or meaning.
Exactly, like Biba, Rikva, from Sanskrit, meaning a bright beam of light.
Yeah.
Or Liesma, that's Latvian for fire. And Chasu, an ancient Slovak word for the sun.
It just powerfully shows how, for millennia, we've looked up and projected our deepest experiences, our myths, our places, our very words onto the sky.
Which leads us perfectly into the stories within the stars. The mythologies woven into the constellations themselves.
Oh, the celestial drama.
Right. A common theme is how constellations seem connected, like characters interacting. Think about Aquarius.
The water bearer.
Pouring that stream of water right into the mouth of the southern fish, Pisces australis. Maunder himself called that link strange and bizarre.
And they aren't always friendly interactions, are they?
Definitely not. You get these adversarial pairs, like Taurus the bull being attacked by Orion the hunter, or the scorpion constantly trying to sting Ophiuchus the serpent bearer.
Cosmic narratives playing out night after night.
For millennia. Let's take Andromeda as a really great example. The classic Greek myth. Cassiopeia boasts she's more beautiful than the sea nymphs.
Big mistake.
Huge mistake. Neptune gets furious, sends a sea monster, and poor Andromeda, her daughter, gets chained to a rock as a sacrifice.
A classic damsel in distress story, but that's not the only version.
Not at all. To the Arabs, she was Almara al-Musalsala, the chained woman, sometimes simplified to the sea calf with the chain. Then later, in Christian times, some saw her as the biblical figure Abigail. Schiller even saw the pattern as the sepulchre of Christ.
Wow, so the same stars can absorb completely different meanings over time.
Exactly. It shows how adaptable these stellar stories are. And think about the Andromeda Nebula within that constellation. William Herschel suspected it wasn't just fuzz, but maybe individual stars.
And he was right.
Spectacularly right. We now know it's a whole other enormous galaxy, packed with countless suns, a stunning confirmation of that early intuition.
Amazing. Let's get into that trio you mentioned, Taurus, Gemini, and the dogs. Starting with Taurus, the bull.
Right. Taurus has immense ancient significance. For 2,000 years, way before Abraham's time, it marked the vernal equinox, the start of spring.
So the sun rising in Taurus was a huge deal.
A massive deal. The sun in Taurus was actually deified, worshipped as a bull in various cultures.
That's powerful imagery. And the Greek myth.
Jupiter transforming himself into this magnificent snow-white bull to carry the princess Europa across the sea. Classic Jupiter.
Within Taurus, we've got Aldebaran.
The eye of the bull, also known as the follower, because it seems to follow the Pleiades across the sky.
And the Hyades, that V shape.
The Hyades cluster, consistently linked with rainy weather and folklore, pretty much everywhere.
Interesting. And the Pleiades themselves, the seven sisters?
Oh, the Pleiades are just universally revered, not just as markers for farming, knowing when to plant or harvest.
So it's symbolically, too.
Deeply symbolic, symbols of immortality in traditions like Masonry, and then there's that persistent ancient mystery.
The lost Pleiad.
Exactly. This idea, found in cultures from Greece to indigenous Australia, that one of the main stars used to be brighter or has faded or vanished. It hints at either a real celestial change observed long ago or maybe a really fundamental widespread myth.
That is intriguing. Okay, from the bull to the twins, Gemini.
Castor and Pollux. That poignant story of the twin brothers sharing this alternating existence, one alive while the other is in the underworld, then switching.
Symbolizing day and night.
Right, that eternal cycle.
Right.
The Romans loved them. They believed the twins appeared to lead their armies to victory. Very auspicious.
Did they have practical uses too?
They did. The Arabs, for instance, used the apparent distance between the two main stars, Castor and Pollux, to define their long cubit, a unit of length.
Wow. So influencing measurement standards.
It shows how deeply embedded the stars were in everyday life, not just myth.
Okay, and then the dogs, Canis Major and Canis Minor, Orion's hunting dogs.
And Canis Major contains the brightest star in the night sky, Sirius.
The dog star, famous for its brilliance.
Absolutely. And its ancient association with the intense heat of summer, the dog days, sometimes also linked to pestilence, unfortunately.
And the Egyptian connection.
Incredible. Temples, like the Temple of Isis at Dendera, were precisely oriented so that the rising beams of Sirius would shine deep into the temple's inner chambers at a specific time of year. A celestial alignment.
Just an amazing engineering and observation. What about Sirius being red?
The red star debate. Dr. C argued, based on some ancient descriptions, that Sirius might once have been red. It's still debated. But what's undeniable is the discovery of its companion star.
The faint one.
The white dwarf companion. Bessel predicted its existence mathematically, just from the slight wobble it caused in Sirius's motion, decades before Alvin G. Clark actually saw it with a powerful telescope. A real triumph for theoretical astronomy.
And Procyon, the little dog.
Procyon, in Canis Minor, means preceding the dog, because it rises shortly before Sirius. It's a yellowish star, generally considered a bit further along in its stellar evolution than Sirius. Another layer to the story.
Okay, shifting focus a bit. Serpents and dragons seem to pop up a lot in the sky.
They really do. It's quite striking. You have Draco, the dragon, a very ancient constellation. Interestingly, it coils around the north celestial pole, almost like guarding the throne of the heavens, despite the instinctive human dislike of snakes.
Paradoxical. And Ophiuchus.
The serpent bear, holding a giant snake, strongly linked to medicine, healing, snake charming. Think of Asclepius.
Right. And Hydra.
The huge sea serpent, the largest constellation, sprawling across the sky. Often shown with a cup, crater, and the crow, Corvus, riding on its back.
What's profound about these serpent figures?
Their deep connection to the mechanics of the sky. Take Draco, the dragon. Around 2790 BC, one of its stars, Thuban, was actually the pole star.
The pole star, like Polaris is for us now.
Exactly. But the Earth wobbles slowly on its axis, like a spinning top starting to slow down. It's called the precession of the equinoxes.
Ah, I've heard of that.
It means the point in the sky the North Pole points towards gradually shifts over thousands of years. So Thuban was the pole star then, Polaris is now.
And in the future.
Vega, a bright star in Lyra, will be the pole star in about 11,500 years. It's this grand, slow, celestial clock, and it explains why ancient star maps look different. The pole was in a different place.
It's a powerful reminder the sky isn't static, it's changing. Very slowly from our perspective.
Precisely. And speaking of change, let's talk about variable stars, some real hidden wonders there.
Like Algol, the demon star.
Algol, in Perseus. It visibly dims and brightens over about 3 days. Ancient observers definitely noticed this winking.
What causes it?
We now know it's an eclipsing binary. Two stars orbiting each other, and one periodically passes in front of the other from our point of view, blocking some light.
Yeah.
The spectroscope proved it by detecting the Doppler shifts as they orbited. A huge discovery.
Understanding the mechanism, not just seeing the effect. What about Delta Cephei?
Delta Cephei is a prototype for a whole class in Cephei variables. These stars physically pulsate and get bigger and smaller, brighter and dimmer, with incredible regularity.
Like clocks.
Is exactly. Accurate timekeepers. And crucially, the period of their pulsation is directly linked to their true brightness. That lets astronomers use them as standard candles to measure vast distances across the universe. Hugely important.
Wow. Any other interesting variables?
Well, there's our corona borealis. It's
Yeah.
peculiar. It stays bright most of the time. Then suddenly, irregularly, it plummets in brightness, possibly because it throws off clouds of carbon soot that obscure its own light. A real celestial wildcard.
Fascinating. Beyond single stars, what about bigger formations, nebulae and clusters?
Oh, some spectacular sights. The Great Nebula in Orion, visible as a fuzzy patch even without a telescope. Flammarion called it the California of the sky, maybe for its richness. Service saw it as an unfinished temple where creation is still proceeding.
A star nursery.
Absolutely. A magnificent region where new stars are actively being born right now.
And the Hercules cluster.
The Great Globular Cluster in Hercules, M13. Just breathtaking in a telescope. But you can glimpse it as a faint, fuzzy spot with just your eyes on a dark night. Widely considered the finest globular cluster in the northern sky. Hundreds of thousands of ancient stars packed together.
Incredible density. And Virgo.
Virgo hosts the field of the nebulae. Sir William Herschel, meticulously scanning the skies, found hundreds of these faint, hazy objects concentrated in this area. We now know most are distant galaxies, each a city of stars like our own Milky Way.
Just mind-boggling scales. Are stars just fixed points, or do they move?
Well, they move. Everything is in motion. Take 1830 Groombridge. It's nicknamed the Flying Star.
Right.
Because it has an exceptionally fast, proper motion. Its apparent movement across our line of sight against the background stars is very quick compared to others. It's really zipping along relative to us.
And Mu Cassiopeia.
Another fast mover. Calculations suggest that due to its speed and trajectory, it will appear to circle the entire heavens over about 3 million years.
3 million years. That puts things in perspective. Any nearby movers?
Well, the nearest star to Earth in the northern hemisphere skies is Lalande 21,185. Still incredibly far, of course, but our closest neighbor in that half of the sky.
So all these individual stars, clusters, nebulae, they're all part of our galaxy, the Milky Way.
Exactly. And that band of light we call the Milky Way. Well, ancient cultures had some wonderful interpretations for that mysterious cloud.
Like what?
The Norse saw it as Bifrost, the shimmering bridge to Asgard, or maybe the path to Valhalla.
Path for heroes.
The Chinese envisioned the celestial river, Tian, or sometimes the Silver River, separating two divine lovers.
Romantic.
The Eskimos called it the Path of White Ashes, maybe from celestial campfires. And the Polynesians had this incredible name, the long blue cloud-eating shark.
Wow, such vivid imagery, all trying to make sense of that hazy band.
Exactly. And what's truly amazing is what modern science revealed. That mysterious cloud isn't a cloud at all. It's a vast, zone-shaped nebula. Our view looking edge-on into the disk of our own galaxy.
They're made up of
Myriad close-set suns. Billions upon billions of stars. Most of which, incredibly, actually surpass our own sun in brilliancy and splendor.
It just takes that ancient sense of wonder and scales it up almost beyond comprehension.
It really does.
What an incredible journey we've taken. Through ancient observations, myths from around the world, right up to modern discoveries about variable stars and galaxies.
It truly highlights how all these threads, the human stories, the cultural meanings, the scientific understanding, they all intertwine, creating this incredibly rich, multifaceted view of the universe.
It shows that timeless human urge, doesn't it, to look up, map things out, and try to find meaning in it all.
Indeed. And we really hope this deep dive encourages you, listening now, to maybe look at the night sky with a slightly renewed sense of appreciation.
Yeah, to see not just tiny points of light.
But to see the stories, the histories, the sheer scientific marvels packed into every constellation, every named star. Each one carries whispers from the past and maybe hints of future discoveries.
So maybe tonight, when you gaze up at that vast star-strewn canvas, just consider this. Think about how much our understanding has shifted, how different cultures saw it all, and then wonder, what new stories, what new scientific revelations about these same ancient lights might future generations uncover? And how will those discoveries, those stories, shape their view of our place in this boundless cosmos?